All right, today I'm just gonna walk through a challenge of making a contact form for my website. Uh, so the idea was that, if I'm as a software developer, people are gonna give me tasks to do, and this is how I'm gonna maybe show my process. So here's the first step. Hey, here's a general idea of a contact form. All right, it's simple enough, but it's for my own, I guess, self-edification. So my website now needs a contact form. So the first thing I know, like if I visit that URL slash contact, I should get a form. Okay, so display a form. Okay, now the form, it's contact form, right? And it's gonna have a few attributes. It's gonna have a name, right? It's gonna have a email, and it's gonna have a content, right? And a submit button. So far, so good. Now, on the back end, right, what's gonna happen? On the back end, I'm gonna have a handler. Well, let's call it in the Django lingo, it's a view, which is basically a controller, right? So that view then should receive the post. So that view will handle two things. If it's a get, it's gonna display form, right? If it's a post, it's gonna handle form. So, and the idea is that it's gonna save the data into a table, right? Into a DB table. Okay, save data to DB. Okay, to database. All right. So I think I have a very high level of what I'm supposed to do. Usually, okay, let's start with the URL, right? Okay. So I already have the project set up. I have a couple page built already. So let me actually go through my local host. And right now, well, it's not running. So I would go to the terminal. Let's see. It's supposed to be debugging right now, but there's an exception. Okay, so I know what's going on. I was trying to get ahead of myself here. Okay, so let me just debug. It's just gonna run the manage.py. Okay, so and now, okay, this is my page. I'm gonna go through the contact me. Oops. Okay, contact me page. And right now it just has a contact thing. So first thing, the URL is already wired. Contact, go to the contact method and as a name contact. Okay, so first thing is I will go into the forms.py and I'm gonna create a form instance or a class of type form. So let's go ahead and do that. So first step is I'm gonna just go and say class contact form. It's gonna take that argument form, and then really it's basically whatever I had here. So in the plan. So they have a name, email, content, and submit. So I'm surely gonna keep that on top, and it's gonna be I'm just gonna keep it as contact name, which is a char field. It's a form, that char field, right? And it's gonna be required is equal to true, right? And then I'm gonna have a email, so contact email, which is forms dot char field again. Well, this time it's gonna be an email field, right? And required is gonna be true also. And the third thing is gonna be a content, right? Content. So contact content. It's gonna be forms dot. I'm gonna do that as a char field, but this one is gonna be also required true. But the addition of that is gonna have a widget, which is gonna be the forms dot text area. Why? Because, well, it's gonna be a larger piece of text. Okay, so got that saved. Now I have that class set up, and that's the linter telling me I need to add 2 blank lines. Okay, now I'm gonna go into the view, and well, I already have that set up. If, well, it's not post, then display this. Okay, so first thing is I'm gonna pass in an instance of the form. So on that view, I'm just gonna name it form, right? Is equal to it was contact form, and now the thing doesn't know, the view has no idea where that's coming from. So yeah, import that. Auto import, just imports it at the top. Now it's already being debugged. What's going on here? Char field. Continue. Let's just go through with that. I don't think it's an error. No, it's not. Okay. Pilot console is going fine. Alright, so now got a contact form, and I'm gonna pass that as a context too. I'm gonna say form, and it's gonna be a form, that form. Now I want the template to receive it. What does this say now? Okay, so I'm gonna go into the contact.html, right? And this time it's just going to create a form. Usually the template is pretty simple, you know, got that from the Django documentation. But you know, let's go to the Django, and usually, oops, it's easy. I just go here, type forms, right? There's the form API, but working with forms, right? And usually you got that, you have form, you have the action, you have the method, and that's the regular HTML. So Django automates that process by grabbing all of the properties of the class here and just inserting the appropriate field or HTML element there. So it kind of saves you some time. So usually the idea here is that you have a form as whatever. So let's see, it's a form as table, form as p, form as ul. So I'm just gonna take the form as p, right? And I'm just gonna go right, and on that contact HTML, just paste that right there. Alright, so actually two ways, ul and p. So now that we have that set up, let's see, I have to close that form thing. Just close it. Now this should handle it. So let's go back to our page. Let's go in localhost, okay? And it's not running, so let me just go into debug. Just debug it, okay? And it's running. Okay, what's going on here? It requires that the reject class of type text area. So there's a little bug here. Content, it's a char field, and required is true. Reject form text area. I mean, that's good enough, right? I mean, I don't think there are any problems. Just maybe format it. Okay, let's continue. All right, this should work, right? Unless, okay, so that's the first step now is we have the view, we have the fields, we wired the URL. So now we're just working on the get, okay? So if you make a get request, it should display the form. It should display this form, okay? So what is going on now? That's an issue. So it says connected, and I'm just gonna stop this. Stop, maybe restart. See what's going on. Okay, so now it's live and operational at this URL. Okay, now I'm gonna go to contact me, and here we go. We have two versions of the form. Remember, it was form as p, form as ul. I think form as ul is good. I mean, form as p is alright. So now I only have one form. Okay, so if I was gonna make this form a bit better, look a bit better, right? The first thing, I would go into that bootstrap thing, bootstrap, okay? Let's go to bootstrap, and we already have that wired up. I'm just gonna go into the form, show the component, just to see what it's like, It's like quick prototyping. I don't have to worry about really anything, so I'm just gonna put that around form group just to see what's gonna happen here. Okay, let's see, maybe close the div. Let's see what's gonna happen there. No, that's not it. But anyway, I'm not gonna worry about that for now. I'm gonna remove this. Now I'm gonna make the get works. So now let's check post. It has to make sure this view here should handle the post. So if not post, else, let's see, else, I'm gonna say maybe return JSON. Is there a way to return JSON? Let's actually see what's gonna happen here. Let's see, import dot, okay, that's broken for now, but Django JSON, okay, let's see what's gonna go. So there's a HTTP response, but we also have a JSON response. Okay, so there's a JSON response as of Django 1.7. I'm gonna put that here, maybe JSON response. And the syntax is pretty much return JSON response. So in the view, we're gonna else return JSON response, and it's gonna be the data, which is request dot post, I assume, and this needs to be indented. Now let's refresh this and see if that works like we want it to. I'm gonna go to contact and I'm gonna say I don't know, Andy, and test@email.com, and hello world, I am contacting you. Okay, so check this out. So if we go into the networker, right, we just want to make sure. So I'm at the contact here, so I'm going to make a post request, right, because that's what the form does. Post, now get, okay, it actually returns the JSON. So I see that I have the post.contact name, post that, and the content here. So if we go to the post, you see on that URL we submitted let me just make this a bit smaller so you can see. So we submitted the data here. And what did I get as a response? I got this as a response. And the raw data is, yeah, pretty print. That's JSON. So everything works. So step 2, we were able to handle the response properly. So next part is going to be to save that into the database. So that's going to be the next part of that, I guess, walkthrough or tutorial. And yeah,